It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. We're back live on the Big Mountain.
Welcome back to another live episode of The Boys on the Big Mountain with our dwellers in the cellar. We already have new to this, putting some comments in there, which is awesome. Like and subscribe. He's reminding everybody. Thank you. Like and subscribe. We are going to go through all 9 conference championship games and pick them.
Love it.
We agree on 4 and we disagree on 5 because it's way more interesting if we disagree.
Absolutely.
But before we do that, Steve, let's put our end of the season stats up. And we came back pretty well here in the last week. I mean, you almost went 4-0 on locks. Your buddies at Penn State let you down in Piscataway.
Yep.
And I went 3-0 on locks and brought myself out of the doldrums to be better than 500.
Never trust what happens in Piscataway, New Jersey.
I've never been there, never plan to go. But yeah, so you ended up almost over 500. If Penn State would have hit that, you'd have been right at it.
Yep.
But yes, you were 2 under because whatever, 20 and 22, but 48%. That's as good as you were the entire season, which is very good because you dug yourself a hole.
Yes, beginning of the season pretty bad.
You got out of it pretty good. And then I finished 9 and 8. I kind of gave up on the locks halfway through because I just got tired of them. I came back heavy at the end and pulled myself back to over 50%. On my total spread picks here with the Mountain West, Steve, I was 56 to 46 at 55%.
Not bad.
So pretty happy with that. And you can see our combined scores down there with just 1 under 500 on the locks, 48% on all the spreads, almost 80% overall on the straight picks. And if you added up our other picks that we pick spreads as well, if you add them to our other spreads, we were basically 50% across the board on spread picks between you and me together.
Yeah, not bad. Not where we want to be this year.
Not where we want to be.
But not bad. Right there, about 50%.
We had a good week 14.
Yeah.
So cheers to week 14.
Boom.
And with that, we're going to get into it. We're going to pick all 9 games here, Steve. We're going to pick the games together. I'll let you go first, then I'll go. And I didn't really prep this with our producer, so whatever.
Yeah.
We're just going to roll with whatever we got.
I'm ready.
We're going to start with the biggest matchup of the entire weekend. The Conference USA Slabanaka, Kennesaw State versus Jacksonville State. What do you have to say about it?
Well, there's no Liberty in it this year, so
No. They struggled this year.
Yeah. Kennesaw State at Jacksonville State. I'm going to take Kennesaw State to cover the 2.5. I just think they're the better team. I mean, I don't have a lot really to go on for this game, but I think Kennesaw State is the better team. It's not a big spread, so I'm going with that.
I'm with you.
Yep.
Kennesaw State minus 2.5. They've had a very nice season this year, and Jacksonville State has as well. Not a conference I really follow. I can't say a whole lot because I like to be educated when I talk, and if I say too much, I'm going to be BSing because I really don't know a lot about these teams.
The one thing I'll say is I do think I was a little surprised at the lines. I thought they'd be 4 to 6 point favorites. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we agree. There's one that we agree on, the Conference USA matchup. I want to give some shout-outs. We've got Sargent giving us a greetings. We've got Happy Hump Day from Las Vegas. Larry Moses is in the house wishing us a happy Wednesday from Illinois. Big Mama is here. And Hickory Doc saying the Big Pac-12 or giving us Big Pac-12 greetings from the base of Mount Rushmore and Rapid City, and a note that the Beavs have bottomed out and the future's looking bright. Go Coach Shepard.
So they have their new coach.
Coach Shepard.
Okay. Was he the interim guy and they took the tag off?
No, he's the co-OC at Alabama.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
I called him the co-OC, and then somebody said, no, the OC is this other guy. And I'm like, he's a co-OC. Yes. He's an assistant head coach. He's somewhere up there, pretty high up with Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Who freaking cares? He's at Alabama.
Yeah, and a lot of teams do that where they'll have because they want to give guys titles and helps them get paid more and all that kind of stuff. But nobody really knows.
So Mike the Michael giving us a howdy. Happy pick day from Brad Stanton. That's right, happy pick day. Let's get on with the picks. Now we've got, the Sun Belt final. James Madison versus Troy.
This is James Madison. I mean, they're losing their coach. I believe he's going to coach in this game. Their coach was hired by UCLA, and they're putting the staff together. Sometimes that's a bit of a distraction,
right?
But I'm pretty sure Chesney is going to be coaching this game. From what I heard, what I saw, and honestly, they're a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're punished because of the conference they're in, but honestly, I think if you put them in even the American, that's so competitive, I think they still would probably have had double-digit wins. They're just a really good team. I see them wanting to close out strong with this group together.
Sure.
And just absolutely take it to Troy. So I'm picking JMU to cover. It's a big line for a Commerce Championship game. We look at most of these and they're like 1 to 3 points.
Yeah.
But they're a 23.5-point favorite, and I think that's for good reason. I think they're just a very talented team, very good team, disciplined. They play well. So I'm taking JMU to cover the 23.5. I'm a little nervous about the size of the line, but I am going to take them to cover those points.
It is the biggest line of all of the lines that we're picking. There's only 2 lines over 10 points. Of course, this up in 23.5 for crying out loud. And Troy only lost 1 game all season by more than 23 points. Now, I understand we're talking JMU right now, but they've only lost 1 game. That was to Old Dominion. Old Dominion lost to JMU pretty handily, but Troy's quarterback didn't play most of that game. They had some injury issues and things like that. 23 points is just way too many points for me not to take here, Steve. I think JMU wins the game, but 23.5, give me those points in a conference championship game. I don't think Troy is a bad team. Actually, they're a team that made it into our top 10, I think, for 1 week when we did, every other week we did our G6 top 10s. We'll have one more of those coming out after the conference championship game. They peeked their head in for one time, dropped right back out. But, they're a solid team.
Yeah, I don't blame you for taking the points. That's just so many points, especially for a conference championship game. So I don't blame you, but I'm sticking with JMU.
I understand. Yeah. All good. All right, let's go to what I think is going to be one of the best games of the whole weekend. North Texas and Tulane for the American championship game. Mm-hmm. We've talked about these 2 teams a lot this year on that Big Ten, or I'm not Big Ten, on the G6 top 10. And you get to pick first.
So if you remember, I picked Troy to win this, or not Troy, Tulane to pick. I picked them to win the American Conference at the beginning of the season. I held with them for a while, and then they had that weird loss. I think it was to UAB, if I remember correctly. Yeah. But I really liked how they played coming down the stretch. Yeah. When they needed to get some wins, some important wins to be able to play in this game, they kicked it up a notch. Now North Texas has been just good all year, just consistently good. I really like both of these teams and think they're very good. They've both been very high up in our G6 rankings for most of the season. I think I look at this game as a coin flip game, so I just went with whoever was getting points. So I took Tulane plus 2.5. It will not surprise me either way. Who wins this game?
Well, I'm taking North Texas. I've been on them most of the season. I have them very highly ranked. A 1-loss team. Their offense is a thing of beauty. Their quarterback is stellar. Another team losing their coach. Yep. Half of the American is losing their freaking coaches here, for crying out loud.
They all had such great seasons.
Oh, my gosh. They're all leaving. But anyway, I got to take North Texas here. I think they're the champ. I see some people. Big Mama says North Texas wins and gets the 11 seed. We'll talk about the CFP here a little bit later. New to this also likes North Texas. I could see North Texas winning by double digits. I really could. Tulane, solid team. I think the North Texas offense is just going to be too much for them. But we'll see. I'm anxious for this game.
It's going to be a good one.
Really good game. All right, buddy. We're going to... that's it for Friday's game. Oh, we got one more Friday. What am I... we got the biggest... What am I saying? The most important game. Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. UNLV on the blue versus Boise State. Steve, where are you going with this?
I mean, I feel like this is one of those old school heavyweight title fights where they just keep going back and forth, like some of those old Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier or whatever. It's just these are two games two teams, they were on a collision course at the beginning of the season. Then they, kind of maybe went different directions, and now we're right back to where we have been.
Yeah.
Last season, this season, UNLV at Boise. UNLV is Boise is a 3.5 point favorite. Yep. I was kind of surprised because of Madsen not playing.
He'll play.
Oh, is he going to play?
They called him the starter.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that makes more sense. I did not think he was going to play.
Yep.
Now,
I don't think he's 100%. Yeah. Do they use both quarterbacks? Nobody knows, but they've said he's going to start.
Yeah.
Is that gamesmanship? I mean, I saw him running routes. He's practicing for sure. So yes, he's supposedly starting.
Well, we'll have to see what his health is, because if he's fully healthy, then I think Boise wins this game by a touchdown or so, just because of how even UNLV's defense has improved.
Yes,
but as it is now, because we don't know what percentage he is and all that, I'm taking UNLV plus 3.5. I think this is another game that's going to come down to the last drive, one team driving, needing to score. So I'm taking UNLV plus 3.5 points.
Okay. Well, I am being that it's on the blue. Boise they always find a way to win. I think they're going to do it again. And I'm going to take Boise State minus 3.5. I don't think it's going to be a blow-up by any of the stretch of the imagination. I do think UNLV's defense has looked much better here as of late. Now, you got to look at who they played, but I would say look at Hawaii, who, they torched San Diego State, who has a great defense, and UNLV played great against Hawaii. So I think it's going to be a closer game than maybe some people think. I actually think Vegas here at the line at 3.5, 2.5, 3.5. That's where I'd have this game for sure, with Boise being the favorite. And, I'm going to take the Broncos in this, Steve, but we don't know how much Maddox is going to play and what kind of percent health is he at. If he's limited, he's not a hugely mobile quarterback. He's not going to run, but he needs to be able to move in the pocket. Yes. He needs to get away from blitzes and things like that. If he struggles to do that, this is a UNLV defense. They do kind of go for the home run sometimes, and if they're able to bring some blitz packages against a less than healthy quarterback, we'll see what Boise State has to do there in terms of maybe switching out quarterbacks. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting game, and I just want to add the context again with this one, kind of looking back at the beginning of the season. I think the consensus between us and just in general was, UNLV. I think a lot of UNLV fans were just expecting to go right back to being in the championship game and all that. Mm-hmm. But I think the rest of us thought this was more of a rebuilding year. Yeah. They'd have a chance to maybe compete, but it was a little more of a rebuilding year.
Yep.
And then Boise, a lot of people thought they were just going to roll easy into the championship game and be a contender for the CFP spot.
Right.
Both seasons have gone different. With Madsen getting injured, missing a few games. And UNLV, even though they had those early defensive struggles for probably the first 2/3 of the season, I think they've overperformed compared to a lot of expectations. Again, not necessarily UNLV fans, because some of them had really high expectations, but I think for the rest of us. So it's interesting how we got back to this again. So anyways, just wanted to point that out.
3 in a row, Steve. 3 in a row here for the Mountain West. All right, now we're going to get to Saturday's games. We're going to start with the Big 12. Uh-oh.
Did you have a slide after this?
Oh, I have a poll after this.
Oh, you have a poll,
I have a poll. I have another slide, too? Oh, man, I suck. Oh, yes, I do. See, our producer's keeping me on track. I didn't make the correct notes. Let's put the poll up first, and I do have another slide before we get to the Big 12. So the first poll here is who will cover the spread? UNLV or Boise State? I'm not asking who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
I'm asking who's going to cover the spread. UNLV or Boise State. And we have a difference of opinion in the chat before we put the poll up. We have some UNLVs, we got some Boise States. So get your vote in right now. Who's going to cover this spread? And then, yes, I do have another slide. I made a note down here, but I'm using yours. I have another slide that I did want to put up because, I've talked about this. We've covered the tiebreaker, the metrics, all this kind of stuff over the past few weeks as things have changed. And A.D. Dickey from Boise State put out a comment, and it was asked for him to do so by Sean Goodwin. We've had him on before to talk about Boise State athletics or football. But A.D. Dickey put out it, and I'm not going to read this for you, but at some point, if you want to go back and read it, I would advise you to, because he hits the nail on the head with what the Mountain West is trying to do with the metrics that they're using and why the metric are used for the teams that they get in. And it's all about the CFP.
Yep.
I said that in the, I think it was the last update that I did. You can dislike that, but that's what the ADs and the members agreed to. So they all agreed. I know there's a lot of fans, especially UNM, that are really upset about it, and I get it. And I said on the last update, to me, it should be UNLV and UNM. That's who I think, from the eye test, is playing best and should be in the championship game right now. But when you look at what he's saying here and the reasons why they're doing it the way they're doing it, because if UNLV wins this game, UNLV could finish in the top 25 again for the season. I mean, are they going to sniff the CFP? Probably not. We'll get into that at the end of the pod here, the live show. But that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to get a Mountain West school into the CFP.
Yep.
So we want to try and get the best two teams from a metric standpoint, from a CFP committee standpoint, and he talks about this, into the title game to get them into the championship game. Why? Because that's a ton of money for the conference.
Yes.
That's why. And yes, do I like that? Not really. As a Mountain West guy, I want to see UNLV and UNM. But these are business people. The conference is here. I mean, this is big money. We've talked about this many, many times.
Yep.
And this was approved by all the ADs. And I don't really think it's wrong. I think the Mountain West should be doing it this way. As a G6 conference, you've got to try to put your best team out there. And, you're probably going to say this, but look at the ACC right now.
Yeah.
The Mountain West sure as hell in the ACC.
Right.
We'll get to them in a little bit. But anyway, Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I appreciate A.D. Dickey. What do you call it? You call him ADJD?
ADJD.
Yeah, I appreciate him putting a statement out, and I agree with everything that he says 100%. And the thing is every conference has tiebreakers, okay? There is, at least the Mountain West tiebreaker is more metric-based.
Yeah.
Geared towards trying to get a team into the CFP,
right.
But it's metric-based. It's not rigged in any way.
No.
Any of that stuff. If you look at some of the tiebreakers, like last year we were looking at the Big Ten tiebreaker, it was ridiculous. It was like how many field goals each team made was like the sixth tiebreaker or whatever. I mean, it was just idiotic the way that the tiebreakers are set up or were set up in the Big Ten and other conferences the same way. I think the Mountain West is the only team to go this route, basically using for the tiebreaker.
Well, the American does, of course, head-to-head comes first.
Yes,
everybody, head-to-head comes first. And I think some people's rubs are, when you look at the record of head-to-heads, then UNM is 2-1 amongst these four schools, and UNLV is 0-2 against these four schools.
Yep.
But they haven't all played each other.
Yes.
So for me, I get what they're saying when they say that, but that's not a fair assessment when they don't all play each other.
Right.
So you've got to use a different model there. Like, to me, that I don't.
Head-to-head really only makes sense when it's just two teams.
Yeah.
When you have four teams,
or you have three teams and one team beat the other two and they went 2-0. Okay, fine. But when you don't have that, it's hard to use it. What was the question you asked me though? The American uses head-to-head. Then they use their first criteria after that is if a school is rated in the top 25 of the CFP, they get in. Well, because they want that school in the final, a.k.a. Miami in the ACC that isn't in the final game right now.
Right.
That's the reason for that. And then their third criteria, if you will, basically is very similar to what the Mountain West is doing. It's metric-based.
Yes.
Because they want to get their best two CFP teams into their final.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. So that one criteria that the American has wouldn't have mattered for the Mountain West because none of them are ranked in the top 25 anyway.
Yeah. I honestly think the way the Mountain West is doing it makes the most sense probably of any conference because, again, you're going to metrics.
Yes.
It's not someone's opinion or any of that stuff. It's a metric that is geared towards getting you into the CFP.
Okay. Well, enough about that. I just appreciated his comments.
Yeah.
Had to throw it on the screen. Let's close the poll, and then we'll get to more picking. All right, we've got... Oh, look at that. A 50-50 split. 50-50 split. It don't get any better than that.
Yeah.
And we're 50-50 split too, Steve. You
Right.
went one way, I went the other.
And like I said, I feel like this is going to be another, in my opinion, it's going to be one of those games between these two teams where it's a coin flip, comes down to the last drive. I think it was it last year where UNLV was trying to hang on, Boise was just trying to close out the game and had that, it's like a 7-minute drive or something.
Yeah.
And that's what I expect again out of these teams.
Well, Dolph says Boise's frigid cold will be the difference for a Bronco win. Then again, UNLV has played them a lot in the last 3 years, and they're due. Interesting matchup as final game before the Pac-12 breakaway. Agree, Dolph. And yeah, it's supposed to be cold. I think they're calling maybe for some snow. So we'll see. I'm anxious for it. It's only 2 days away. Whoop, whoop. All right, Big 12, Steve-O.
Okay. All right, so moving right along here. Big 12, BYU at Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a 12.5-point favorite. I think that's too high. I get it. Texas Tech is a very good team. They have a lot of talent, almost the best talent money can buy. And they probably are the better team. BYU right now, I think they're coming off an emotional kind of roller coaster. It was reported that their coach was leaving to become the coach at Penn State.
Right.
He has a change of heart, gets an extension at BYU. Really well coached team, really good. I don't know that BYU will be able to win this game, but I think they're going to keep it much closer than that spread. I think the spread is fair on paper because of the talent that Texas Tech has. But I don't see them as the cohesive team that I see BYU as. And BYU has been exceeding expectations all season.
Yes.
They are used to this. Everybody doubting them. So I'm taking BYU plus the points. I love getting 12.5 points with them. I think this game stays probably under 10 points. So taking them plus the 12.5.
I'm with you. I'm also taking BYU plus 12.5. It's, again, one of the two that is over 10 in terms of the spread. And I've taken the points on both of them. I took Troy earlier getting 23.5, and I am taking BYU getting 12.5. And I basically don't have anything to add. You said it perfectly. I pretty much concur with everything that you said there. But when I saw this over 10, I went, yeah, I'm going to take those points with BYU. They love proving people wrong, and they're pretty damn good at it.
And later we're going to talk about the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And I'll bring them up as well. If one of us will bring them up because it's an interesting conversation. Because BYU, if they win this, they have a chance to get in the CFP.
Yeah.
Texas Tech might be in it either way. I'm not sure.
Sure. Yep. Hard Rockin' is in the house, says going to be a fan of both the Mountain West and the Pac-9 next year. We've got a lot of BYU pickers here in the chat as well. A couple shout-outs to Texas State coming from both JEH and Hickory Doc. And let's move on. We've got, I don't see Steven in the house, but we're going to go on to his favorite conference, the MAC.
The MAC. Return
Miami
of the MAC.
Ohio versus Western Michigan.
Yeah, so Western Michigan is a 1.5-point favorite. I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
And I know Western Michigan, they've had a great season this year. And at some points, they were even, I saw them show up as like a possibility to make the CFP.
Oh, wow.
For the
Okay.
MAC to get that spot.
Okay.
Which I was a little surprised at. But I'm going to go with Miami plus 1.5. I think Miami, these are close, very close teams, I think, as far as talent. Miami just has kind of a little bit more experience, especially the last few years, getting into championship games, playing in big games, coming down to the wire, fighting for the MAC championship. So I just have a little bit more faith in them. So I'm taking Miami plus 1.5, but it would not surprise me either way. I think these are very, very close teams.
Absolute coin flip here, 1.5. I mean, money line this sucker. There's no need to bet a spread when it's 1.5. Because Lord knows, you pay a little bit extra to not have to, cover by a point, but or a point and a half. But I'm going to take Western Michigan. I think they've just looked too good this year. I'll take the favorite at minus 1.5. But, to your point, Miami, Ohio, they know how to win.
Yes.
They've done it. They did it last year. They're a little bit struggle at closing sometimes. They weren't able to close last year. Western Michigan, to me, is just, they've been on fire all season. Too many question marks for Ohio right now. I'm going to take the favorite, if you want to call it that, at 1.5. And yeah, go Western Michigan, says me.
They got a pretty cool logo.
I like their logo. Yeah. Well, it's brown and gold, just like, my favoriteest team in the world. I would love to hear from Steven. Maybe he'll view this later. He can put a comment down below. Let us know who he thinks is going to win the MAC championship game. All right, Steve. We have to do it. I don't want to do it, but we're going to pick the SEC game.
Yeah. So Georgia playing Alabama. Georgia's a 2.5-point favorite. Well, I'm going the other way. I'm taking Bama plus 2.5. I think Bama wins this game straight up. I think Bama has more to play for. Georgia's in the CFP no matter what.
Absolutely.
There were even questions like, were they even going to play this game? And here's the thing. They want to win the SEC championship. Kirby Smart wants to win another SEC championship. So I'm not saying they don't want to. I think they just don't have quite as much motivation. So you get to a point, you have a star player dinged up a little bit. Is he going to try and stay in the game or whatever? They're going to hold him out. So I'm going with Alabama. I think they're very close on talent, and I think Bama has just a little bit more motivation, and I like getting a couple points. So I'm taking Bama plus 2.5.
I'm doing it too. I'm taking Bama plus 2.5. Georgia, the past few years, they seem to lose the big games. Bama's rolling. I mean, honestly, ever since they lost that first game to FSU, which you look back and go, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
Given the vast difference of the trajectories those two teams went. I think, you're right. I think Bama probably has to win it to get into the CFP.
Yeah.
If they win, of course they're in, and you're right. Georgia's not going to fall out. So I'm going to take the couple points here. I'm with you, taking Bama. I like that, and but I don't like the SEC. I don't really care that much, but it is what it is.
I want to throw in a little context on this game, okay?
Context it.
Something that I do not think is going to happen, but a lot of fans and pundits are talking about it.
Okay.
So Kalen DeBoer, the head coach there, apparently doesn't love being there.
Right.
And apparently some of the boosters don't love him being there.
Okay.
So there is some speculation. If Bama were to lose this game, especially in an embarrassing fashion, and then get bumped out of the CFP, that Kalen DeBoer, who I think is a fantastic coach, he was great at Washington. He's been great. He's been good at Alabama.
Sure.
And so the speculation is he could leave and become available. And, me as a Penn State fan, I mean, I would love to have him if he were to come home.
Yeah.
But the fans have been in a little bit of a frenzy because Penn State has not hired a coach.
Right.
And the speculation is now that they struck out on some other people, they might just wait around until like Sunday to see if Kalen DeBoer were to become available.
Oh, wow.
So...
Okay, now we're wishing and hoping.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're at that stage.
I know they are.
So
that's a whole nother conversation. But yes,
So I just want to throw some context on the game.
Yeah, for sure. I see a couple people saying Bama. I think I saw somebody say lock it.
And Big Mama.
Big Mama wanted you to lock it.
Big Mama always wanted to lock stuff.
So apparently Shepard is still coaching this weekend, staying down in Alabama. To coach here in the championship game, and we got some chatter about Shepard and whether or not our Beaver fans are happy with it. Sounds like for the most part they all are. So, all right, let's go to the ACC. Very interesting game. Duke, a 7-5 team. Steve, we had to look that up.
Yeah,
a 7-5 team playing at Virginia. Where's Miami? They forgot. Oh, Miami's playing. They're playing in the MAC championship.
Yeah. This is a very, very strange one. The ACC, very strange conference this year. Miami's been pretty, highly ranked all year. They have had a massive win at the beginning of the season over Notre Dame. They did drop a couple games, which Miami is. They do that. They do that pretty much every year.
Yes.
But there's an argument to be made that they're playing the best football in the ACC.
Yeah.
They're ranked in the CFP rankings right now in a good position to get in, but they don't get the chance to play in the ACC championship game. 7-5 Duke is going to be there instead. Really kind of bizarre how that's worked out. And so they don't get that chance to have that. Well, the CFP always talks about, the committee talks about this extra data point when you go and win your conference championship.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have CFP conversation later. There's some interesting things going on with Miami and Notre Dame.
Okay.
So basically, the ACC is just shooting themselves in the foot with this setup. But we're going to go ahead and pick the game. Virginia, I will say, has been a consistently good team all year.
Yep.
Surprisingly in the ACC. So I'm going to go. Virginia is 3.5-point favorite. I'm going to go ahead and take Virginia to cover the 3.5 points. I think they're just a better team than Duke. I like Duke. I like Manny Diaz. I like what he's been able to do there. This year, they're just not quite as good. So I'm taking Virginia Cavaliers, the Wahoos, to win the ACC championship and cover the 3.5 points.
Well, almost everybody in the chat wants complete chaos. They want Duke to win. They don't want the ACC to have a team in the CFP. They want the nuclear option, which is a lot of fun. And quite frankly, I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah.
But I don't pick that way. Yeah. I pick who I think's going to win the game, and I think Virginia is the far better team. 3.5 to me, I was surprised the line was this low. And Steve, I'm going to do something we haven't done yet.
Okay.
Big Mountain, ice cold lock, Virginia to cover the spread.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it really would be very interesting. Let's say, Virginia just has they have a bad night, whatever. Duke upsets them, and then I know we have CFP talk coming up later. That would have massive effects on the champion of the American Conference, just the American, and the Mountain West potentially, especially if UNLV were to win this.
Yes, for sure. Well, Brad's asking a very interesting question. We're not going to get into it right now. He's asking about Duke winning, Bama losing, BYU losing. Does Miami then move up 10 points? It could all happen, but that's not where we're at. I do want to give a shout out to one of our awesome dwellers, always good for a fantastic super chat from Wyoming, Justin.
Nice.
He says, great show, gentlemen. Hope everyone is doing well. We're doing great. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody. Guess we could have said that.
Yeah.
But we're doing great. And Justin, we always appreciate you joining us for a live show. And certainly always enjoy you, helping us out with a super chat. Very kind.
Were you able to meet Justin before?
I was not. No, I have not met Justin.
I still think
someday.
I think that'd be cool to get you two together. You go out to a Wyoming game and go to Laradice, and you guys hang out a bit. Maybe do a little conversation with him.
Absolutely. Yes. Someday, I'm sure he and I will meet up. But again, appreciate the super chat. We're going to get into more CFP talk. I know a lot of people are going kind of off on the, do we get 2 G6ers in here possibly or not? We'll hold that till we get through one last pick, and it's your conference, Steve. The number 1 versus the number 2 team in the country. What do you got to say for it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a massive, massive game. I think I don't feel like there's as much fan excitement this year, partly because those two have just been leading the pack all year.
Yeah.
They're both going to get into the CFP no matter what. But to me, I mean, 2 undefeated teams here. You have the consistent long-term success of the Ohio State Buckeyes against the team that's, Kurt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers, they've really taken the college football world by storm these last 2 years.
Yeah.
Coach Sig was able to come in and put together a roster last year, like a G6 All-Star roster. Yeah. Kept some of those guys over to this year, kept some of the best players, brought in some new players, brought in a quarterback in Mendoza that I said at the beginning of the year, I said when I was reviewing Indiana, I said at first I thought they would take a step back, but the more I hear about this Mendoza kid in practice during camp, the more I think they're going to improve over Curtis Rourke, who we both are big fans of, at the quarterback position, and that's exactly how it's been going. He started a little slow the first couple games, getting used to that new offense, but it's proved to be, I think he might be the Heisman front runner right now, or at least in that conversation of top 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the front runner, but he's right there.
To me, I kind of think it's a no-brainer. What he's meant to that team, because they were obviously a really good team last year.
Yeah.
But they've hit overdrive this year and dominating people, going in and getting a win in Autzen Stadium.
Yeah.
At Oregon, the Ducks in a game that they kind of wasn't a big spread in the score,
Right.
but they dominated the Ducks. They basically did whatever they wanted with them. So, just to me, two fantastic teams. I'm looking forward to it. I loved the Ohio State-Michigan game that we just saw.
Yeah.
I think this one will maybe be similar but closer.
Okay.
And I think it's an awesome game. And I think, depending on who wins here, I think if Indiana wins, I think you have a chance for both of them being in the top 4.
Yeah.
In the CFP.
I agree. I don't think it matters who wins. I think they are both in the top 4. I'm not a CFP voter, but I'd keep them in the top 4.
I don't know that Indiana will get that respect or not.
Yeah,
I guess
not.
I don't trust the CFP. They're too influenced by ESPN.
That's true.
Who hates Indiana.
I understand.
The best part, if Indiana were to win this game and be the number 1 overall seed, Paul Feinbaum's head is going to just explode off the top of his body.
He's changed his tune a little bit.
Bit.
He's not quite as aggressive as he once was, but I mean, they've been running through people.
Yes.
So I mean, who's he going to talk to? His hand, his dollies back in his.
Yeah.
I'll stop. But anyway, all right. So did you bake your pick?
Oh, I didn't make my pick yet.
Okay.
I'm just talking.
Well, I love it.
Ohio State's 4.5-point favorite. I think that's fair the way they played and the track record they have. However, I'm going to take Indiana plus the 4.5. I think it's more of a coin flip toss up type game. And there are some people I won't say JY that they're never going to believe that anybody's going to beat Ohio State until they do, which I totally understand because they win like almost every game they play.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that Indiana will win this. I think they keep it close. Comes down to a field goal, and so that's why I'm taking Indiana plus the 4.5 points.
So Hickory Doc says, my heart says Indiana, as does mine, Hickory Doc. But my brain says Ohio State. So I'm taking the Ohio State University. I hate that. I don't know why I just said that.
Yeah.
I hate that they call themselves that. You're just Ohio State. Deal with it.
Can I just smack you?
No, I said it because Big Mama said it.
Okay.
Ohio, you can smack me. I don't really care. But yes, I'm taking Ohio State minus 4.5. Yeah, I would love to see Indiana win the game.
Yeah.
But as I've been saying throughout the entire season, until somebody beats them, you just said it, they're going to be my favorite. And it hasn't let me down yet.
Yep. So this is what I'm going to propose. If Indiana wins this game,
you can smack me.
No, the next time, whether it's our live show, the next time we record together, let's wear our Indiana T-shirts.
Heck yeah, let's do it. I'm down. Next week. I should have worn it tonight. Yeah. But I collared up for this very important championship game.
We got our nice
episode.
Big Mountain polos.
That's right.
Big Mama says Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah.
And I will say, one of the very best places to watch a college football game in December, when you're in the month of December. It is so I mean, because last year I sat outside at the Penn State playoff game, and it was one of the worst. Even though we won, it was a great game.
Yeah.
One of the worst experiences of my life. But I would have much rather been in Lucas Oil Stadium, which I was the next week.
Yeah.
And it's a freaking great stadium.
Yeah. All right, let's get our last poll up, and then we're going to get to just a brief CFP discussion. Last poll, same thing. Who will cover the spread? Indiana, Ohio State. Put your votes down. We had a 50-50 tie on the Mountain West one.
Yep.
And you and I were split.
Yep.
We'll see. We're split on this one.
I'm going with Indiana to win straight up.
Are you going with Indiana? This is against the spread again.
Against the spread. Okay.
Who will cover the spread?
Yeah, I'm taking India.
Yeah. So let's go to. Okay, we're going to go to CFP.
All right.
So if our wonderful producer can throw up the slides, we have the top 25, and then we have the bracket. So let's just start with the top 25, like we did a couple weeks ago. I will say right off the bat, finally, we're giving some G6 respect or G5 respect. We've got 3 schools in the top 25. North Texas, Tulane, and JMU entering the top 25. Exactly the way it freaking should be. It took them too damn long to get these schools in there. And I get it. They're kind of down at the bottom. But, hey, I'm happy we've got numerous G5, G6 schools in the top 25.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
That's pretty cool to see. I have a couple. I have a couple other rants.
Okay.
let's see. It's kind of hard to see here, but okay. Let's talk. Let's go back to that Miami Notre Dame situation.
Okay.
So if we remember, Miami beat Notre Dame early in the season.
Yeah.
And if we can find the rankings here,
What do we got here? Miami's right here.
okay, at what number?
12.
12. Okay, and so
Notre Dame's 10.
Notre Dame's 10. So 2 spots apart, even though one has the head-to-head win. And there's not a lot of other. I don't think there's any other common opponents, if I remember correctly. Maybe Pitt, and I think Notre Dame did beat Pitt by more.
Yeah.
So again, and I'm no Miami pumper or anything like that, but they are getting just totally, completely screwed by both their own conference and the college football playoff committee. For them to be 2 spots back, I think is just ridiculous. If you look at their schedule, they have, I think, the exact same record. Miami has the head-to-head win, and when you look at the teams that they have played, like basically, Miami's schedule is, I think, better than Notre Dame. So if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, their best win is USC, which good team, solid team, but that's their best win of the year. Where Miami's best win is Notre Dame, who's ranked 2 places above them.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is, I think the ACC is doing Miami no favors whatsoever.
No.
You talked about how the Mountain West, everything was set up, the tiebreakers and everything to get the best team into the CFP.
Yep.
I cannot even fathom what the purpose or the goal of the ACC's tiebreakers are, but they should be in the conference championship game, in my opinion. There's no reason to have Duke in that game. It makes no sense whatsoever, and that would give Miami the chance to have that extra data point to say, hey, we're a conference champion. Notre Dame can't say that. They're not in a conference.
No.
And to me, this is just, I think, and Notre Dame, I'm not really picking on Notre Dame because I think they're a solid team. After a couple hiccups early, they've really got on track. They've looked really good. They look like they belong in the CFP. But when you compare those 2 teams, identical records, head-to-head, and only 2 spots away, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. So that was the first thing I wanted to cover. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. The other thing I would just say there with that is, it's almost like they're setting up Notre Dame. They're just going to be in the playoff.
Every year,
we want them in the playoffs, so we're just going to keep them around 10. We can't make them 12 or 11. I don't know. That's just what it looks like.
Yeah, and honestly, so last year in the playoffs, when Penn State and Notre Dame played each other, James Franklin brought that up in the news conference, and he was kind of torn apart about it, especially by Notre Dame fans. They were, and again, I'm not picking on Notre Dame, but he said. The way this is set up, it's not. They have an advantage not being in a conference. They can't get an extra loss. They basically, their season is done at the end of the regular season. They don't have to do anything else. And it's basically set up like you just said, because the CFP, the committee, they want them in the playoff every year because of TV ratings and money and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right, you had another one.
Well, I was gonna, if we could find that one question that someone asked, if this team beats that team, and
it was up here. I think it was this one. Duke win. So Duke wins.
Yep.
Bama loses and BYU loses. So will Miami move up in order to get into the playoff?
I believe so, that they would. There's a whole bunch of help that they need. They would move up probably to number 10, which would be right in front of Notre Dame.
Right.
But the problem is with that, and yes, I think that would happen. But the problem is that with that scenario is they got to rely on 3 other teams to do their work for them. Whereas if they were in the conference championship game, all they'd have to do is win that, and they would be in. So yes, I do think that would happen.
Well, let's say if Bama loses, are they out?
I think
they only have to fall two spots.
I think yes, I think that they would be out. But there's other teams. There's some other teams that could also move up.
Sure. Yeah, well, I think, if Bama loses, is that Miami's potential shot at getting in? If Bama loses and goes down 3 or 4 spots, Miami moves up 1, BYU loses.
Well, that's the thing is they need Bama to lose and BYU to lose.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think
Virginia
easily could happen.
And Virginia to lose.
Why do they need Virginia to lose?
Because
they're ranked below them.
Because Virginia then gets that automatic spot.
Yeah.
And so they're not currently in the in the top 12.
Well, I would say they would be in the 12 then.
Yeah.
So potentially you would get get Virginia.
But then that bumps up the G16 to 11.
Yeah, I know.
You
don't think that'll ever happen?
Well, I just don't think the math doesn't work out.
Oh.
They would be because basically teams get bumped back, so they might move up and then get bumped back again.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I got you. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
Now that scenario, so especially with Duke losing,
Yeah.
could be huge. We talked about that earlier. The Mountain West could be huge for the winner of either the Mountain West or for the American.
Yes.
Getting them getting them up above whoever gets the automatic spot from the ACC, which
Right.
would be huge. Similar, not too dissimilar than we saw last year with Boise.
Yeah, I mean, and right now you've got, the American winner. It's clear right now. The winner of the American, because both of those two teams are ranked now ahead of JMU.
Yeah.
Before the game even happens, Tulane and North Texas are ranked above JMU.
Yeah.
So they're telling you your American winner is going to make the CFP.
Yeah.
The question for JMU is this whole ACC situation.
Yes.
And at that point, maybe UNLV. I don't know. We only get 25.
Yeah.
We don't get who's 26, 27, or whatever. But a win versus Boise
Would
and an
probably
11 and
jump them
2
in.
season. I mean, they definitely would have an argument to make.
Yeah, I think honestly, JMU, they finally got into the rankings. They should have been in earlier.
Yeah.
I think if JMU wins their conference, they're a 22.5 point favorite or whatever, and UNLV beats Boise, they'd be what, an 11-1 conference,
11-2.
11-2 conference champion. I think they would probably get jumped above JMU.
They may. Yeah. All right, let's pull up the bracket real quick, and then we're going to close this sucker out, Steve.
Can I say? I'm sorry. Can I say it real quick?
Yeah.
I did see some scenarios with a lot of teams losing, a lot of upsets and things.
Yeah.
Where potentially two G6 teams could get in. Just want to throw that.
I mean, if they want chaos, that's I think, and that's the chaos that our cellar dwellers want.
Yes.
They want that to happen, which I freaking love. I would love that to happen. We'll talk about the bracket in a minute. Let's close the poll. We only have 12 people vote. I know we have a lot more people watching than 12. I don't know. All right, what do we got, Steve? Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think Indiana is going to cover 75%.
That surprises me.
Yeah, they're with you there, Steve-O.
Yeah. There might just be a lot of Ohio State haters.
The haters and just people that
Somebody new.
They're voting with their heart.
Yeah.
As Hickory Doc said, he's
Love
voting with the heart. All right, so the bracket here, Steve, shows these two gold or whatever you want to call that.
Oh, we lost the bracket.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
These two gold spots, because I don't think they really know what the heck they're supposed to put there right now. So they've got what would that be? The fourth and fifth conference champion, kind of on hold, because even they can't make a bracket with ACC right now. I mean, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, and it's because there's some very volatile possibilities there. I mean, if Duke wins and Alabama loses, that just shakes everything up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we talked about it earlier. Ohio State and Indiana 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I don't care who wins the game. In my opinion, I think they stay in the top 4. Now, I don't know if that's what I hear what you're saying. They don't really like Indiana. They're going to want to move them down. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I think they should stay in the top 2. And I think those 4 teams right there should stay the top 4. Assuming Texas Tech wins and Georgia wins.
Yeah.
Assuming that happens, I think that's still your top 4. Texas A&M's right in there at 7. We already talked about good old Notre Dame. Ole Miss, I mean, that's a whole other thing we could talk about.
Yes.
I'm not going to get into the Lane Kiffin situation tonight, but they're in there. You've got Oklahoma, Alabama, and Oregon. I mean, look at that path if this is how it ends up.
Yeah.
Oregon and then over to Texas Tech. If I'm Oregon, I'm loving that, right?
Yeah, Texas Tech, but then you have to play Ohio State again.
That's a semis.
Yeah. Honestly, it's going to depend on who fills those other spots, and probably the things will get jumbled up.
Yeah.
But there's so many good teams, especially at the top of the Big Ten and at the top of the SEC, that someone's going to get, like Penn State managed their draw last year.
Right.
There's going to be a big, top 5 team that's going to get an amazing draw, and there's going to be, like Oregon last year, a top 5 team that gets a crap
draw. Yes, for sure.
Even though they changed the seeding, I think it's still going to happen.
All right, let me get to some comments here, Steve. So Hard Rockin' thinks Texas was ranked too high. Thinks Vandy should have been higher or should be higher.
Texas beat Vandy and has more good wins than Vandy. So
Okay.
just throw that out there.
New to this says the ACC has no backbone. Ask FSU. I was going to ask if Miami's going to sue the ACC now, since they're the ones screwing this up, apparently.
I'm going to throw something out here.
Yeah.
Stir some debate. Again, we're seeing another year, and I think you and I are on different sides of this issue just on general purpose, but we're seeing another year where the ACC and the Big 12 might get two. So
Yeah, they
they're
might.
probably okay this year. Last year, they kind of hurt themselves.
Yeah.
This year, it's really bad for the ACC. Both conferences are basically hurting themselves by not agreeing to the Big Ten's playoff and getting a guarantee of two every year.
Yeah.
Especially this year, Miami's got to be mad about that. If there was a
sure.
guaranteed two, it would be Miami and the winner of the championship game. So just run it out.
This is why there should be no guarantees. There should, in my opinion, there should be no AQs. Make conference championships matter again, damn it.
Yeah, I would go the opposite way.
Why?
Because the reason there should be AQs is because we have a subjective way. So
But none of these ACC schools should be in.
no.
ACC, Miami screwed up.
If Virginia wins this, they've been good all year. I think that Miami and Virginia should both be in the playoff.
Why?
Because they're just two playoff.
Shouldn't they
teams.
both be in the championship game?
Well, they should, but the
Okay.
ACC is screwing themselves.
Well, that's not the CFP's fault.
right. But I think both ways. The Notre Dame Miami thing is a better way to show the subjectiveness. Like it's just having people just say this team is good and that team is not good. If you had automatic qualifiers, then the teams are earning their spot on the field. It's based on how they finish in there. Well, regardless of that, we don't need to have that big debate. But it's an absolute truth that the ACC is hurting themselves by not agreeing to that, and I think the Big 12 is too. Although this year they probably will get two in.
Yeah, maybe. I don't disagree with your comment on that. I just don't like AQs. Mike the Michael, Bama won't be out with a loss. They do love themselves some Bama.
Yeah.
We all know that.
I don't think they might not be out with a respectable close win, but if they get blown out or something like that, I think they'll definitely be out.
New to this says, like Bama, Notre Dame won't be punished for an early loss. It's like they kind of forgot about those games.
And they had two early losses.
Yeah. Which also, is complete opposite of a G6 school that can't have one oopsie or you're screw-owed.
And that's the problem with this. Last year we said the committee got it right. They got it right last year. This year they got all new people. So that's a problem with the subjectivity of it.
Oh, Matt says conference championships will never matter again. I hope that's not the case. I mean, they matter to the conference. I want them to matter on a national level.
Yeah, and then also, getting that top four. So basically, the SEC winner and the Big Ten winner are always going to get one of those top four seeds. So if they win their conference championship, they know they're getting a bye. They're getting a top four seed.
Hickory and Hard Rockin' says no guarantees and no AQs. Unless they're for the conference championships, which I totally agree with.
So
AQ, the conference champions.
So, but the thing I say, let them earn it. How do you earn it? Because it's obviously not based on head-to-head, because Notre Dame is ahead of Miami, even though they have the same record and they beat them. That's the problem, is how do they earn it? Do you let people vote on it? That's subjective. Do you go back to something like the Mountain West is doing with the metrics and all that? Because otherwise there's no way to actually earn it.
Yeah.
You gotta be a team that the committee likes, like Notre Dame or Alabama.
Okay, we're going to end this now. We're going down a whole different path. I don't want to go that deep on it because I'm kind of the other. I hear what you're saying, but I also feel like AQs are just guarantees.
I want to hear from Hickory Doc.
Hickory Doc.
How he thinks teams can earn it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are we going to sit here until Hickory Doc writes a
No,
novel?
we'll just keep talking. We can check the comments later.
Okay. Well, Hickory Doc, if you can, if you have an idea, put it down there to help Steve understand how they can earn it outside of a committee earning it for them.
Hard Rock says Notre Dame must join a conference. I mean, why? Why would they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting deep.
Okay.
I don't want to get any deeper. With that, we have live Mountain West basketball coming up on the channel in 30 minutes.
Nice.
We've got San Diego State versus Utah State, a big matchup. Yes, very big matchup. Last night, we had undefeated UC San Diego take on Nevada. Nevada with a nice win.
Wow.
The Mountain West needs it because I'm telling you right now, their OOC stuff not going great for it.
Yeah.
So this is another big one for San Diego State. San Diego State's 3-3 right now, Steve. Supposed to be the powerhouse school.
Yep.
3-3 right now. This is a big game for not just San Diego State, but for the Mountain West.
Huge.
They got to start chalking up some of these OC wins because we get into conference play the end of the month. So let's do this.
I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to knock this sucker out. And if you guys want to watch some Mountain West basketball, tune back in about 20, 30 minutes. And we got live tip-off coming up here at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, hey, appreciate you guys watching. Love all the chatter in the chat. We are going to do next week. We won't have a lot of picks next week, but we'll start getting into bowl season. And we're going to have to start, picking bowls. We'll pick every bowl game again.
Yeah. So our fans know. I think we've done different things each year. Are we going to do all the bowls at once, or are we going to just do the bowls each week?
I kind of like doing them. We pick whatever, just per week. Like we look ahead for the next week, and we'll do those bowls. It gives us, if we did every bowl right off the bat, we'd be here for a while.
So the next 3-4 weeks, then we'll have bowl picks each.
Bowl
week.
picks. That's right. Yeah. Bowl picks for the next month or so.
Yeah.
So we got to keep the picks going. So again, hey, thank you guys for watching. Smash that like button on the way out, and we'll see you next time on the Big Mountain.